Good morning, you guys. It's Wednesday, October 21st, and I wanted to kind of blast out this video on me explaining the art during the Industrial Revolution. This is something that I get really kind of pumped about. And if we were in class, we would actually do a really fun art project with it. But I have something that I would like you guys to do digitally after this video. So we're going to talk about art during the industrial age. We're going to pay attention to the painting, the music, and the literature of the industrial era. All right, so the first movement of art we're going to talk about is called neoclassical art. Neoclassical is a period that lasted from about 1750 to 1850. Neoclassical artists revived and honored the classical art of ancient Greece and Rome. Neoclassical works of art showed a return to more traditional times. It encouraged order, reason, and discipline. And I realize I didn't put the caption here, but this is a very famous painting. This is the painting of Socrates, right? And here is the hemlock, and this is believed to be Plato. This was painted by Jacques-Louis David, a very famous French painter who we'll talk more about. Um, and you can see that, I mean, Plato was about 70 years old, maybe even closer to 80 years old before he was executed. And he has a pretty nice physique for someone of his age. Now, what's so interesting is that neoclassical artists would depict the human body as ideal and would often embellish all of the different muscles and beauty of someone's body. And the other thing that's kind of interesting about neoclassical paintings is that you'll see vibrant color. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the paintings in general. Oftentimes, neoclassical paintings are going to be based on classical Greek and Roman art and culture. So, going back to that previous slide, again, this is a very famous event in Greek history. This is the execution of Socrates, right, the father of philosophy. So, a very profound event, right? He has all of his friends there gathering the night that he takes the hemlock and before he passes. Okay. Here's the death of Jean Paul Marat, another really historically significant period. So it's going to be based on most likely classical Greek and Roman art and culture. So you'll usually see people being draped in togas. It's going to show heroic people and scenes from or inspired by ancient history. Now, this is the death of Jean Paul Marat. This is not ancient history. This is happening in the 1790s. But what I will point out is that, again, in neoclassical paintings, figures are going to look ideal and perfect. He has just been stabbed by Charlotte Corday in the bathtub, yet he looks very peaceful and calm as he lays there resting. Bodies are going to be draped in togas or in formal, elegant clothing. They're going to be oftentimes nude. Okay, faces are often calm, without emotion, and that's the other thing that's very indicative of the neoclassical paintings is that they're not going to have a lot of expression on their face. Brush strokes tend to be smooth and barely visible. And again, even though this painting right here, also painted by Jacques-Louis David, who was a very famous neoclassical painter, you don't see the vibrant color, but you do see a strong green and then other nude colors. All right, neoclassical literature and music. Literature is going to stress the world's harmony and order. It's going to present the world in a logical and balanced view of human nature based on reason. And so that would ultimately be Enlightenment thinkers, thinkers like John Locke and Montesquieu, and their works would be considered neoclassical writings because, again, they stressed logic and balance of human nature through reason. Music is going to be moderate, does not describe any sort of extreme emotion. Melody is going to oftentimes repeat itself, and does not reach very high pitches and then low pitches. It's not going to be a sudden drop in pitches. It's going to be very repetitive and within the same pitch. So here is an example of what it sounds like. And Mozart is an example of a neoclassical musician. Oop, not sure what happened there. Um, okay, so that is an example of neoclassical music. It's very repetitive, like I said. The pitches are not going to be extremely high or extremely low. All right, let's talk about romantic art. So romantic art lasted from about 1800 to 1850. Art is going to emphasize strong imagination and emotion. It's going to show scenes of family, nature, heroism, religion, and emotional subjects. Nature can be calm or stormy. There is, hold on, let me get out of that. It's going to be stormy. There's an emphasis on the expansive sky. People in the landscapes are usually small in scale. So looking at this particular painting down here, right, you see most of the nature, there's the expansive sky, and the people are very small. They're not really the subject of the painting. And then over here we have obviously a natural setting. We see a waterfall and then some sort of creek here. So again, it's very much nature, and you're not going to see vibrant color. You're going to see very muted or nude colors. Okay, facers, if there are faces that are the subject of the painting, they're going to show extreme emotion and thought, such as they're going to have fear expressed on their face, anger, love, or hope. Okay, colors are going to be oftentimes neutral and muted, soft, and natural light. Okay, so let's talk about literature and music. So literature is going to stress human emotion over the rational mind. So again, it's going to emphasize very deep, complex characters with really strong emotions. It's going to show wild imagination, uh, again, strong emotions. Themes are going to involve heroes and their complex inner thought and emotional struggles, childhood, the past, passionate love. Okay, music is going to be moderate. Excuse me, mood is going to be extremely emotional. It's going to be a wide variety of rhythms. The instruments are going to express great sadness, joy, or passion. Okay, melody is going to be incredibly dramatic. Volume is going to change quickly and suddenly. It's going to have high pitches to very low pitches. And so I don't have a sound clip here for Debussy, Claire Delaunay. He's a French composer, and you can Google that or listen to it on YouTube. I guarantee you that you would recognize his piece of music. But one very famous romantic composer is Beethoven. And so let's listen to how his music would be considered romantic because of its melody being dramatic and again, the wide rhythms and then the very high to very low pitches. Okay, now let's talk about realist art. So realist art is a period of art that lasted from 1830 to 1900s. Realist art is going to emphasize the importance of showing people and their lives as they really are. So they're not going to embellish, they're not going to over dramatize. Realist artists are really trying to depict people as they really are seen in real life. Realist works of art depict situations from daily life, no matter how unpleasant or unheroic they might be. Okay. Oh, and let's go back to that slide over here. So again, this is Colwitt's The March of the Weavers. This painting right here, it's actually more of a sketch, but you can see these groups of men on their way to work, most likely into the coal mine. And again, you don't really see extreme emotion. You don't see vibrant color like you would for neoclassical. Again, it is just trying to depict people as they really are in their natural life. So again, here's another realist painting. It's going to, again, if we look at a realist painting, it's going to often show us, again, the details of daily life. Scenes are going to be common people at work. Here we see three women at church. Okay, figures are going to be dressed in their daily casual work clothes. The human body is not going to be idealized like they would be for neoclassical. You will see the blemishes, you will see the wrinkles, you will see the unfit or untoned bodies. You're not going to see people look ideal. Okay, there's no airbrushing. Faces do not show strong emotion. Again, they're just depicting, it's almost like a candid of a person in their life. Artists attempt to paint light as it really looks on and around the figures and objects. Okay, so literature and music. So literature for realism would be any sort of novel or writing that's going to describe the hardships of everyday life and really criticize society, greed, or even bad manners of people. So, if we were to read Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, or if we were to read Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist, or Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities, which I know you guys have actually read, those would all be examples of realist writings because they are describing characters, even though they're fictional, in their everyday life. And there is some sort of criticism or some sort of tone that is criticizing the greed or the bad manners or the societal issues going on in their life. Okay, music for realism is going to be opera. It's a play with its text set to music. Mood changes with scene to imitate real life situations of everyday characters. The melody often imitates human speech and voice and conveys realistic emotions. Okay, so Les Miserables, any of the work from Les Miserables would be considered realist music. Let's listen to it. Oops. Now, if we listen to more of it, right, the mood and the music would change as the character changes through these situations in life. So, really, any sort of opera or any sort of musical piece that goes with a written play would be realist. Okay, so Victor Hugo, here's Victor Hugo. He is a famous realist novelist, and then obviously Charles Dickens would be another one. Okay, so you guys have a challenge today. You have to fill out your notes on the different types of art during the Industrial Revolution and include the different bullet points for the different matrix that I gave you guys, and then include hashtags for each of the different art forms. But I also want you guys in the discussion post called Industrial Art Challenge, I want you guys to post a painting, a picture of a book, or a musical piece, or any other form of art for each of the industrial types. So neoclassical, romantic, and realist. Remember, it has to come from that time period. So I want you guys to kind of search and do a little bit of research to find a piece of art that is neoclassical, romantic, and realist. Okay. All right. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow or later today in ACE. Bye.